Hello and welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. I'm your host Hayden and your co-host
Cicely.
And this week we are doing The Platform. It was made in 2019. It's rated TV mature because I guess that's what the French do instead of the same system as us. It's an hour and 34 minutes. Got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, which I think is pretty close to the right with like what it deserves. And for the people that don't know what it's about, a vertical prison with one cell per level, 2 people per cell, only one food platform, and 2 minutes per day to feed. It's an endless nightmare trapped in the hole. What?
In the hole.
That's what it's called.
I know, it's just funny.
And for the question from last week,
What actress played Tiffany in The Bride of Chucky? Answer: Jennifer Tilly.
so hopefully no one Googled that.
I feel like that was a easier one than
Yeah.
the past questions we've had. I feel like more people would.
Probably get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully. You never know.
We'll see, I guess. I don't
Do you have anything you want to say before we get started?
know. I've seen this movie before. I've watched it a second time for this. And it's I like it, but
Mhm.
it's very
Strange.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. I agree. But it's not like a strange that you're like uncomfortable the whole time. More of like just what's
going
What's
on?
going on?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the whole time you're like, what?
There are things we'll get into it at the end, but
Okay, yeah.
You
Let's
have anything?
just jump right in. I do have one thing I noticed, that they must have changed the like they're speaking in English, but the subtitles don't match what they're speaking. They're both English, but
both
they don't match. Like
both would have been translated from
yeah, so I
French.
noticed, like, literally there's a part in the movie where I think he says fuck, and the subtitle says shit, or vice versa. I was like,
Well, it just for movies, I know that they translate it from a different language for the subtitles, and what the subtitle reads would be different because that's literally what they said in the title or the subtitles. But apparently, like in English, they change what they say because it doesn't sound right to speak it, I guess.
Well, it did sound weird when they were talking, but the captions made sense.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So if you watch this movie, just, I mean, watch it however you can focus.
yeah.
I kind of just listened to it. I couldn't, like, listen and read to, like, separate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't focus on both. I had to pick either just listening or reading. So I picked listening.
It just seems like movies that are translated from, like, what's it called? Squid Game, where if you read the subtitles, it was completely different from what they were saying. So one is like what they're actually trying to say, and what I think it's the subtitles are what they actually said,
Okay.
like what it actually translates to, and then what the the English voice is saying would be what sounds better in English.
I think it's the opposite for this movie.
Probably, who knows? But you have anything else?
No, that was my main, like,
Main thing.
yeah, I was like, I gotta talk about that. I don't know why I focused on that so much, but I did.
Oh well. So let's just jump in. There's a very interesting opening with the food being like made.
Yeah,
With the whole process, like that was kind of a different way to open a movie.
yeah,
I mean, this movie is very food-centered.
yeah.
It plays
sure.
a very big part in this movie. And it was very, very interesting to see them
Prepare it.
prepare it
Yeah.
right in the very beginning of the movie.
And like all these people are like just normal people going to work.
Like they're working in a restaurant or something. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, you didn't know.
No.
If you watch this without having any idea what was going on, you would just be like, "Oh, is this a restaurant movie or what?"
Yeah.
And then it gets
That's what
into
I thought the first time
the first
I
time.
watched it. I was like, I wonder what this has to do with the movie. And then I was like, oh.
But it obviously shows right away that there's a level of care put into the food.
Yeah.
Probably because they know that this is the only food that the people in the prison are going to eat, I guess. And for some of them, well, I guess the whole point of the movie is that they don't know that people at the bottom don't get fed. I guess that's the whole point.
Because they're supposed to do things a certain way, and they don't do it.
Right. And they don't know that, so that theory was out the window. But I thought it was interesting the way he said there are 3 types of people. The ones on the top, the ones on the bottom, and the ones who fall. Kind of gives you a sense of what the movie's going to be about, because they're obviously the people at the top would be viewed as like the rich and the greedier people who eat all the food, and then the people at the bottom don't get anything and they're just left to starve and stuff. And then there's the people that take, the easy way out and just can't handle it or whatever. I thought that was very interesting because basically describes the whole movie without like blatantly telling you.
Exactly.
And then it opens on the main character, and I liked that he was kind of confused as we are.
Yeah, so we figured it out with him.
Yeah.
I like that too.
He was like, he jumped into this pretty much at the same moment that we did. It wasn't like we got a little backstory first. The backstory came throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool. And then there's a scene where he's explaining how the hole works. He's like, oh, 43, that's, or 40 whatever.
48.
That's 48. That's a good level. Talking about how, like, people above, like, a certain level get all the food, and talking about how if you get down lower he was, like, level 230 or something, and he didn't get anything for an entire month, and...
They die, right?
Who?
People. Without eating for a month. You die. Correct?
I mean,
I would die, personally.
Probably, but your body would start eating the fat. So
you don't think do people die after a month of not eating?
They can. They full well can.
But could they survive it also?
They could if they were fat enough. So like the roommate, the cellmate that the main character had, he probably could have survived a month. Maybe 2 months, because he was a bigger guy.
Okay.
But we find out that he obviously didn't.
Yeah.
But so you could go a month without eating. It's just a matter of, can you?
I don't think I could.
I don't think I could either.
Nope. I get Dunkin' every day.
Yeah.
You think I can survive a month without eating? You're smoking crack.
And it was kind of cool to see how he was learning how the hole works at the same time that we were. Because we were both kind of getting the exact same information at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Because he woke up completely confused. And we kind of started the movie a little confused.
We woke up completely confused.
Exactly. Sounds like every day.
I was going to say, that's me every day.
And then I want to talk about him trying to keep the apple.
Yeah.
It seems like a weird... I mean, I get it. It's like a prison. And some of them are there voluntarily, but I get it's a prison, and when the platform goes, that's your only time to eat, or whatever. But it kind of seems weird that they are being punished for keeping, like, a snack. I mean, yeah, you only get those 2 minutes a day. That's it, to eat.
Uh-huh.
But it just seemed weird that they were trying to freeze or cook them alive just for
Keeping the apple.
keeping an apple.
Yeah.
But it also showed like the stakes that they had too.
Yeah.
Like they were being forced to do it this way or no way at all. And it kind of stopped them from like hoarding food. If you know what I mean. Like,
oh yeah.
They couldn't
like, they
hoard
could keep
food and
stuff
yeah.
if
like-
that wasn't a thing.
Right.
Yeah, that would defeat the whole purpose.
Yeah, just hoarding the food and
Yeah.
like you could give it to other people or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway. And then there's the scene where they're both explaining why they're there. And he's like, "Oh, well, you know, I came here voluntarily because I wanted a diploma
Degree.
or whatever."
Diploma or something, whatever.
And he's like, "You wanted a degree and you came here because you wanted to?" He was like completely weirded out that he said he was there of his own free will, that he didn't get put there. Which I get it. In this, like with hindsight, it was probably weird that he went. But he got promised a degree and he wanted to take the 6 months to quit smoking.
Yeah. Which, not a bad idea. I
Which,
guess.
yeah, it's not a bad idea.
You can, like, break any habit doing that, I think.
Pretty much. No, well, I guess there was wine. I was going to say you could kick your alcohol addiction, which
You could.
You could.
If you, like, if you're in there, you're obviously, like...
Not able to drink
Or,
the whole time.
Or you're that dedicated to stopping whatever addiction you have. If there's a
Right.
bottle of wine, just don't touch it. You're already in this situation. Don't touch it.
It's not going to make it any better. And then he was talking about he wanted the knife.
Yeah.
And he said he bought a sharpener that sharpens any blade from dull to super sharp or whatever.
Yeah.
And then talking about how the next day after he buys the sharpener, they're talking about a knife that never needs to be sharpened.
Yeah.
And he was so pissed
Promise.
that he threw his TV out of the window and killed somebody, an
That's
illegal
insane.
immigrant on a bicycle underneath his window because the TV landed on him.
That's insane.
Like, I get it. That's annoying. You know, you just bought this sharpener for all your knives, and then the next day it was like, oh, this knife will never need to be sharpened ever again.
Just return it and spend
Exactly.
your money on the knife. You know?
Exactly. But it was also kind of funny that his one object was the knife.
Yeah.
It was like, so you brought the reason that you're in here,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then there's the woman on the platform that I want to talk about looking for her son.
Yes.
So people think she's crazy because there's not supposed to be any children in it under 16, which, okay, I get why they're skeptical about it, but like, why do you think that she wants to ride the thing the whole way down and nearly get taken? Remember how they said that they would only keep her for a few days and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, why would she put herself through that for no reason? If she
Or
was
if
just,
there wasn't a kid.
yeah, that's what I mean.
That's stupid.
So you're sitting there thinking she's crazy and delusional, some of these people. She's putting herself through
Yeah.
this every day looking for her child. Like,
Gotta be somewhere.
it's gotta be there. There's no way that she was just doing that for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, maybe she was delusional or schizo or something, but like, even that she would have thought that, I don't know, it just seemed weird that everyone was just like so against her, except for the roommate, I guess, but, and, the passage of time I thought was pretty cool. And it shows like what they do every day, and they're like kind of getting along.
Yeah, they're starting to become friends.
Turns out bad later, but it was kind of cool to see that because you got a glimpse of what they did every day.
Yeah.
The reading the book and like kind of doing exercise and washing his clothes in the sink. And
Yeah.
it also kind of gives you an answer to the question like, how often do they change clothes? They don't. They just wash it in the sink or whatever. Because I was wondering that. I was like, do they change them every month, or is this like the same outfit for the whole time?
Well,
And then it shows you that he washes it in the sink. So
I guess they had water the whole time,
yeah,
so they could just drink a lot of water and survive off that.
yeah. You can only survive 3 days with no water or no liquid at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause you don't drink water ever, do you?
Every day at work.
Never mind. Maybe you just look like that then.
What?
You look like you don't drink water.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
I drink a 40-ounce thing of water every day.
I'm JKLOL.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, you can survive 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. It's, okay, 3 hours in harsh environment without shelter.
Okay.
guess.
Is it by threes?
Yes,
Is
it's the rule of 3.
Okay.
It's 3 minutes without air,
Something like that.
and then 3 hours in a harsh environment without shelter. So, like,
Thunderstorm without.
yeah,
in the middle of
you
the
would
woods.
get hypothermia and stuff within
Okay.
3 hours or something. And then it's 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and then there was
Don't
one
quote
more.
him, people.
I remember this from The Walking Dead, the Talking Dead show. After they mentioned that as like a survival thing on the show. It was like a survival expert or something, and he said it's the rule of 3s.
Oh, okay.
I know it's the rule of 3s. I know it's 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. I can't remember the air and the shelter one or anything like that.
Sounds
but
about right. Air is like three minutes.
yeah, it's like it takes like 3 minutes for the oxygen
'Cause
to
remember
cut off
the,
all brain activity.
Let the right one in, and they're drowning him.
Yeah,
And they're like, dude, he can't go longer than
couple minutes
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
2 minutes or something.
and then immediately after they're getting along, then he ties him up.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
What
hell?
was that?
Why was this necessary?
Thought we had something going there.
And I get it, he was hungry, but like, he was bigger.
Yeah.
He would have been fine. The main character would have been the one that would have been kind of borderline.
Getting starving there.
Yeah. He would have been fine. I think he just liked eating people at that point. Because he was like too
He was too eager
eager to do it.
to
Exactly.
do it. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
And it seemed like he waited like a week. And was just like, all right, let's do this. It wasn't even like a last resort. It was like, I'll just start now and then
Yeah. He
not be
was
hungry.
gonna, like, strip his leg,
Yeah.
care for the wound, give him a bite. I was like, that's disgusting.
Eating yourself? That's weird.
No, thank you.
I'm good.
I'm sure I taste great, but no thanks.
And then there's the woman comes down again and saves him. It does seem strange that she saved him of all people, but also there was a scene earlier where he was like trying to figure out if she was okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense in a way, but like she didn't know him, really. He could have been one that as soon as, well, other than the fact that he was missing a piece of his leg, he could have been a person that next time she came down the platform, he would have kept her for a few days. So all in all, she could have saved her own demise, but obviously he wasn't like that. But
Yeah.
it was nice and kind of strange that she just trusted him immediately, especially after all the all the trauma that she's been through so
I think
far.
she could tell he
Probably.
was a decent person.
But then she starts eating the older guy, the cellmate. It seems like this is a common thing in the
I'm
the
gonna stop
whole.
you right there real quick.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I just said.
I
What was the
don't-
last thing I just said?
I don't remember.
Me either. I forgot as soon as it came out of my mouth. Okay, go ahead. Not enough coffee today.
She was eating the flesh of the cellmate after he was killed. And it seems like it's a common thing to do in the pit.
Just eat each other.
Eat the dead bodies of people.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
I mean, I don't understand why you'd want to kill your cellmate, because that means you would just get a new cellmate, right?
Yeah.
And they could possibly overpower you.
Yeah.
So I would want to keep one person, gain their trust,
And just ride it out.
and
with
ride
that
it out,
person.
exactly.
Yup,
'Cause then
I'm feeling ya.
There could be a dude who's an actual cannibal and might be stronger than me after I just killed my cellmate
Then you? Doubtful, but okay.
I'm just saying, like, in that situation, if I was Goring or whatever his
Yeah.
name was,
Great. I just refer to him as Greg.
that's fine. If I was the old man and I had Goring or Greg and I killed him, there could be that dude that was later in the movie,
The big guy.
the big guy, the
beat his
bald,
ass?
yeah. What if that
I would be so nice to that guy. I'd be like, "Hi, sir.
exactly? But what
Would
if
you
he
like to be
became your
friends?
cell?
What's your zodiac sign? What's your favorite color?
What if the
Can I
old man?
sing you a song?
What if the old man got him as a cellmate after killing him? You're out of
Good
luck.
riddance.
Well, yeah, but what if you were on level 300 next?
You're fucked.
Exactly. You can't kill that guy. Good luck trying.
Yeah, I agree.
So it just seems stupid that he was so eager to carve up and basically kill
Oh, yeah.
Greg. And then I thought there was an interesting scene where we get a look at the people again. And they find the hair in the food.
Uh-huh.
And he's like comparing it to the heads and stuff, and people's heads and stuff. I thought it was interesting because it showed more that they cared about what the food looked like,
Yeah.
and like tasted and
Why
stuff.
were they so tedious with the
'Cause
food?
that also kind of proves the point a little more that they don't know what's going on below, because people spit and piss and shit on the
There
food.
was a lot of poop in this movie.
There was.
Too much poop.
But they do, like, they kill people over the food, so there's blood all over the
Yeah.
food. Like, they don't understand what actually... One little hair is not going to stop these guys from
Oh,
eating it.
no. Absolutely
But they
not.
don't know that. Which is the whole point of
Yeah.
the movie, I guess. Then there's the first moment that he starts seeing the cellmate, the illusion.
Yes.
I forget the old man's name, but... He starts seeing him everywhere, and he's calling him his little snail and stuff like
His
that.
little snail. Wasn't that so funny?
Yeah, it was
I
funny.
love that.
And then we find out later that Greg's favorite food is escargot, which are snails, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a coincidence that he's like, "Oh, you're my little snail,"
My little snail.
and they call it escargot, and it obviously confirms that the old dude was in his mind at that point.
Yeah. That he was
Illusion.
yes.
Because he's
That's the
talking
word.
about escargot. He's never talked about escargot up until this point in the movie. And then we find out the information that it was his favorite food that he picked.
Yep.
So
Like, who picked an apple? I mean, I guess they didn't know it was going to be their one meal. I'd be like, my favorite food? A very, very large and hefty, hearty chicken salad from Texas Roadhouse with 10 rolls on the side and a big slab of cinnamon butter.
It didn't say meal, it said food. So you have to pick
That's all
one
one
of
thing.
those. Okay. No, it was, there was food already.
Speaking of, I have Texas Roadhouse rolls here.
Yes. You've had them here for like 2 months.
Okay, keep going.
There were food already prepared on the thing. It was just they kept adding to the menu of people's favorite food.
I know, but the point was you're supposed to take just your meal.
Yeah, you're supposed to take your favorite
So
thing.
who picked the apple?
I think that was one of the ones that was automatically put on there.
Oh,
Because, I mean, when they started out, there had to be something You know what I mean? When they first built the place, they had to just like throw food on there. If that makes any sense?
No.
Because I mean, they couldn't.
Well, if they had people, then they just go with what the people pick.
Right, but if there's like two people there and they both said, "Oh, I like my favorite food is salad. My favorite food is steak." Well,
So they put more than just those two things?
yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
I'm picking it up now.
And then he met the woman and the dog. So, I think the woman and the dog was the very next cellmate, right? There wasn't one in between the old man and the woman. I think she was the next
Yeah,
one,
I think
correct?
she's the next one.
You can, I mean, well, first, this is you in a nutshell.
No.
If you
I
were-
wouldn't be a bitch enough to bring my dog. Okay? I had a very strong feeling about this.
But if anybody
I
would,
understand. If anybody would, it would be me.
yes, exactly.
But at the same time, I am not putting my dogs through that. If was she in there voluntarily or
Yes.
okay? If I'm in there voluntarily, all right, and I know how long I'm gonna be in there, I am gonna make sure that these kids are taken care of
Well, your
pristine for however long I'm gone. I'm gonna be like, here's their schedule, here's their food, here's the toys, here's the bark box, here's this. This is what they're getting. Never would I bring.
Your best bet would be bringing an Echo.
If I had to pick one, sorry Buns, but I'm picking Echo because he's big scary. He's big scary, big scary, big boy.
At least with
But
Echo, he can protect you.
exactly, but I'm still not fucking doing that. No fucking way. I would bring. That's a good question. What would you bring?
I haven't thought about it
Think about it, and at
because
the
I
end of
wouldn't
the
be in there
episode,
voluntarily.
okay.
That's for damn sure.
I think I would bring. I would bring. I don't even know.
Okay,
My-
well, you
my
can
journal?
think about it.
My sketchbook
The sketchbook.
with my markers. That's what I would actually bring.
And then it was kind of a weird meeting because, I mean, he was having that dream of the woman and it ended up being the dog. They were,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny, but it was kind of
I felt
weird
really
that she
bad
was
for
just
that
like,
dog.
yeah. But she was just like, yeah, you're dumb for coming in here or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like,
Okay.
you
You're
did
in
too.
here.
You're here too, so.
And you brought your dog,
And,
dumbass.
yeah, and you brought your dog.
Should have left it with someone for a month and.
But I also like the little pieces of information on the admittance. It was like giving you little glimpses of like, oh, what's your favorite food and why are you here? What's your one object and stuff like that. It was just giving little pieces throughout the movie of
Oh
like,
yeah, I kept going back to that little interview.
yeah, I like that. I thought it was very interesting to kind of
Yeah, that was
give us
cool.
more information. Then there's this. I like the scene where he's repaying the woman, where she was like beaten to hell, and coming down on the platform, and he pulls her off, and I thought it was really nice of him to repay her for helping him. But I also feel bad because I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. The dog stole food off the platform.
Yeah.
And started freezing that cell.
Uh-huh.
I was like, that's also your fault. You brought the dog.
You brought the dog, and it's a dog. And
You weren't-
I'm pretty sure it grabbed a bone.
Yeah, you weren't looking, so
Control your dog.
exactly. I mean,
Don't blame the dog, blame the owner, people. That's my motto.
I get that.
I feel very
You know,
strongly about this point in the movie.
I get that they were distracted helping the woman, but like,
Watch the wiener.
yeah. What did you really expect bringing the dog in here?
Don't bring the dog.
And then,
And then she had to split her meals with the dog.
yeah, that.
Like, I honestly, yeah, I get that. But don't bring the dog.
I mean, it was just dumb for her to bring it at all.
Yeah.
Regardless of
exactly.
the situation. And then she kills the dog. That woman, like, I didn't understand why. Because they were
I
on
don't know why.
they were on a decent level where they were getting food and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But like, that seemed like kind of a weird thing to do for her. but it also kind of tried to make us see that she was crazy in a way.
Yeah. Obviously, in order to kill a dog, you have to be
A little bit crazy.
a lot of bit crazy.
But it was just trying to make her seem like she was insane.
Especially your own dog.
Right.
I'd kill myself before killing my own dogs. That's just fact.
And then-
Echo. I said that.
And then there's a scene where she hangs herself for being on 202. She saw, she didn't have her dog anymore. And then she saw that they were on 202. They weren't going to eat
For a
And
long time.
for a long time. So she was just like, yep, I'm out. And
See ya.
And then there was that delusion, too. Like, she had a good point. Like, she did hang herself, when it would have been easier to throw herself into the hole. But you would have been falling that whole time. So you would have kind of, like, seen it coming, I guess.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been as, like, peaceful.
I guess, but it still takes just as long to hang yourself, I suppose.
I wouldn't know.
But there's also the fact that she may have actually hung herself so she could at least be a meal. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Because that's what the delusion says, and
Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Take one for the team
Right.
attitude.
And then there's the next day after she kills herself and he gets the rope guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was really funny in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'm on fire and stuff.
Yeah.
But he throws the rope up and he starts climbing, asking for help, and she just shits on his face.
That was disgusting.
What the hell is wrong with you?
That was so disgusting.
And yeah, they were on level 6. It kind of shows like the central theme, I guess you could say, of where the whole point of the movie is that the people on top shit on the people on the bottom,
Yeah.
which in that moment is taken literally.
Ugh.
It's so gross. It was just how like she just whipped her ass out.
That was disgusting.
That was premeditated.
It was. Disgusting. I did not like watching that scene.
No. But after that happens and he starts freaking out, washes his face and stuff. He starts thinking. Greg starts thinking, we need to get the fuck out of here. And
Yeah.
the thing is, he only had 1 month left.
Oh, at that point, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
When he started the whole plan to go down. So this was like taken out of like the kindness of his heart.
Yeah.
He could have got out of there. Literally, he was on level 6 for his final month. That's a pretty good level to end up on.
Yeah.
To have your last month in. So for him to just say, "Oh, let's just do this for the welfare of other people."
That's nice of him.
And like the other central theme was the random burst of solidarity or whatever she called it.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was just like basically a random act of kindness would be pretty much the reason this prison changes.
Yeah. So basically him.
Basically him, because he was out in literally like 20 days. He had 20 days left in this prison, and then he was just like, alright, I'm going to risk my life to get down to the bottom and send them a message that something's fucked up.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was kind of a, good thing for him to do.
I wonder where he went after that.
Yeah, I think he's dead. I think he died from his injuries and stuff.
Oh.
We'll get to the very ending in a minute. And then there was the planning to ride the platform where they're like, oh, we can make weapons out of this, and, this is the plan. We're going to ride each level in the first 50. We're not going to give anybody food. And I thought it was very nice to see them, like, getting along and being on the same page and shit. I thought that was a very cool moment for the two. He's finally trusting a trustworthy cellmate.
Yeah.
And I like the discussion of the peaceful protest. He's like, we're peacefully protesting that you don't take any food, so we can send them a message at the top. and that so the people at the bottom get a little bit of food. I thought that whole explanation of what they were doing was very cool to see.
Because of that guy.
Right.
Yes.
And then there was the fight to the bottom. I couldn't imagine being in the moment, but for us watching the movie, it seemed like such a long fight for the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't imagine going from level 6 to level 333. Imagine how tired they must have been.
Beat. They looked beat when they got down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had his gut sliced open, too. But, like, it's just insane to think, like, how many levels that they actually went through. And at this point, yeah, he gets, the cellmate gets his guts sliced open, the trustworthy cellmate. And I feel really bad because I liked him as a character. He was kind of funny, and he seemed like I said before, a trustworthy dude.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I liked him, and I feel bad that he got sliced open. But I want to talk about them finding the kid. I thought that was a nice way to, like, end the movie, or, well, not movie, but, like, end the fight. The protest was like, okay, so this kid is actually real.
There's a child.
And, I mean, he found the woman dead. She got the shit beat out of her by those two dudes that ended up beating the shit out of them. He did find the woman, the mom, which I felt bad for, but I thought it was really nice to see, like, what they were actually fighting for actually happen, you know?
Yeah.
And it also proves that literally there's something wrong going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's obviously something they don't know that's happening. And then there's that whole the girl's the message scene. It was kind of like a prophet moment. Like, he was seeing, like, it was almost like God was talking to him in a way. And it was just like, the girl was the message, not the food. You need to send
the girl up.
Yeah. And, like, hey, something's going on down there because I just found a kid that there's not supposed to be kids or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder how that kid got in there.
Well, I think the woman got put in there and was pregnant, had the kid, and she's been in there for, like, the whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't explain it, but it kind of makes you think. And then they finally reach the bottom. I'm talking bottom.
Bottom.
And this is the part that I was talking about that makes me think he's dead, because he just walks off with his delusion. And, like, he was pretty banged up.
Oh, yeah.
For the last, like, 100 floors. Yeah, so he's just upright and walking. He's just walking fine away. It kind of makes me think that he died.
Yeah.
Trying to get the message through. Which,
good for him.
Good for him. He gave up his life to make the prison better.
Yeah.
And he had like 20 days left, so that makes his sacrifice even better. Because he didn't have long. He could have just left and forgot about the place if he wanted to. And then I have written the message reaches the top ? Because it doesn't
the message
tell
what? Reach the top ?
Reaches the top ? Because
Gotcha.
it doesn't tell you exactly what happens afterwards.
I would love to see the reaction.
I know. But it just kind of fades to black there of the little girl's face going up in the platform. And it doesn't full out tell you, like, hey, they made it, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of, in a way, makes you think of all the different possibilities that could have happened.
Yeah.
You know? You have anything you want to talk about?
It's a good watch.
It definitely is.
Definitely makes you think, and definitely makes you grateful for the food you eat every day.
Yeah, pretty much. So I have some fear facts here.
Okay.
The first one is that they say obviously 26 times in the movie.
Oh my god, I could not. I was like, shut up!
Yeah.
Quit saying it!
And he kept saying, don't use my word. Like,
yeah.
That's a pretty common word that people use.
Yeah,
I don't think it's specifically yours.
Common in the vocab.
But it was just funny that he kept saying, that's my word. But yeah, they said it 26, both of them. Old Man and Goring. Total said it 26 times.
Damn.
The prison symbolizes the circles of hell,
Nice.
meaning that, you know, there's a theory that since there were 333 floors and 2 people per floor, there's 666 people in the prison. That's not true. Two of these other facts disprove that, but debunk it. But it's the fact that the people at the top were the first 3 circles of hell, 3 levels of hell, were reserved for like the greedy and the hoarders and stuff.
Okay.
Like the people that hoarders. And it's like reserved for people who take just so other people can't have it. So that's kind of the theme about this prison. The people at the top take more than what they actually need. And that's why the people at the bottom don't get anything. So it kind of symbolizes the circles of hell in a way.
Gotcha.
For the next one, do you remember the scene where there was the 2 naked dudes in the little pool?
Yeah.
They were like
you know what that made me think of?
Huh.
2 dudes
chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Okay.
The 2 naked dudes in the pool were the script writers for the movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, we're going to sit naked together in a pool.
I think they asked them to do it, but it was just kind of funny that
Who brought the pool?
Yeah. Which one of those dudes brought a little kiddie pool
And who was the one who was like, you know what? We should sit in here together.
Yeah.
Naked.
I mean, they were probably cellmates that like lasted through this whole thing, so they were probably
just really tight bros.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
And like I said already, there's a theory of 333 floors of 666 people. But my next 2, no, I put them together. There's technically 335 levels if you're counting level 0 and the bottom dark level as levels. If you count those 2, there's 335 levels. And even if you don't count those, the child was alone. So there there was 665 people in the prison. And there's 335 levels if you count 0 in the dark room. So that doesn't really pan out. But level 333 signifies answered prayers. And like the number 333 apparently signifies answered prayers in like the religious aspect of it. But that's also the level that the child was on. The message. The number 333 in religion signifies answered prayers and messages, I guess. And they put the child on level 333.
Gotcha.
So, for my final one, which is actually pretty interesting, was that each floor, from floor to ceiling, was 20 feet, which makes the entire prison 6,740 feet deep.
Wow.
That's a big fucking prison.
That's insane.
And that's not including, we don't know like how
far the people are up.
Yeah, but I mean like they're 6,000 feet up, but like we don't know, maybe there's like couple stories to the kitchen, or maybe the kitchen is just one floor, or
what's underground and what's not.
Yeah, so it could be higher than that, but it's still pretty interesting to know it was 6,000 feet high.
Damn.
Tall, whatever. But I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. And my reason is that it's a very interesting movie, but it seems like there were some things that were left unanswered.
Yeah.
They didn't really explain to you what it was, so that's kind of my reasoning for giving it a 7.5, but I think this was a pretty good movie.
I think so too.
I feel like it was appropriately rated.
Yeah.
Or at least close.
I would give it like a 7.5 because...
I mean, the movie's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Pretty good watch.
It's a good watch. It really shook me to the core the first time I watched it. I was what the hell did I just watch?
Especially probably the dog scene, too.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Who does that?
No, I think everyone should watch this movie. It is technically in French, but there's an English dub to it, so
Yeah, it's not bad.
it's not bad. It was pretty good sounding. It didn't sound off or anything. Similar to Squid Game, their dub version of it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, our next movie is gonna be Tusk,
Uh,
which I'm not looking forward to. So,
I'm not either. What's it on again?
I think HBO Max. I don't remember.
Great.
I'm not really looking forward to this one because I absolutely hate this one.
I think everybody should watch it because we have to again. And I
Tusk?
think you need to watch Tusk at least once. Everybody.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
fucking horrible, but watch it. It's
You're gonna
better. No, it's not better than. Sorry, what am I saying? Rubber is like a fucking featured film compared to Tusk.
Yeah.
But I like Rubber.
You're gonna hear us talk about it. You kind of just have to see it with your own
Yeah.
eyes. So
If you're not gonna watch it, just Google pictures so
yeah,
you
and
know
then
what
you'll
we're
kind
talking
of understand.
about. Awful movie. Justin Long, what were you thinking?
Exactly. But yeah, we'll get into that next week. Not really looking forward to that one.
The Platform is on Netflix.
Yes.
So check it
It's
out,
been
y'all.
on Netflix ever since it came out, so you can
Check it
just-
out, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's all you have, that's all I got too. So
Question next week.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. What Clive Barker movie focuses on monsters who inhabit the underground city of Midian? So don't Google that one either. I don't think
I've never heard of that. Have
yeah,
you?
me either. No. But we'll catch you next week with Tusk, and don't forget to answer the question. But also watch this movie.
Yeah, watch it.
It
Check
was
it out.
pretty good.
Check it out. It's worth the watch.
Definitely worth the watch. One that everyone should see at least once. I mean, almost every movie is a movie that you should see once.
Yeah, I
but
think we say that about every movie.
there's certain movies that you shouldn't go. If you're a horror fan, you shouldn't go without seeing. This is one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
So you have anything else?
That's all I got.
That's all I got. So we'll catch you next week with Tusk, unfortunately.
Yep. Catch you later.